if you play hard and work hard, you have a chance to be anything you want to be, except now you've got these big government socialists that want to say, they want to cap how successful you can be.
Today, we are going to be breaking down the Democrats' proposal on the wealth tax. And with us to help explain all of that is Brian Faler, senior tax reporter at Politico. What was the original plan?
We had a Ways and Means plan that had been approved by the committee, that had been vetted, that had been fully written, scored, everything. And it was a fairly traditional tax increase plan. You raise rates on the rich, you raise capital gains. Folks on the left were concerned about were the richest of the rich. And these people are not wealthy because someone is writing them a check. They're wealthy because they own shares of companies that have become enormously valuable. So if you raise the top marginal tax rate or you do some of the other things, you're not going to hit them.
That brings us to how the plan was changed.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got one stream of criticism from progressives saying, hey, you got to go after the Jeff Bezoses of the world who don't earn any income. When the moderates step in, especially Kyrsten Sinema, what's their complaint and how effective was it in sort of driving some of the changes that we've now seen?
Well, Senator Sinema upended a lot of this. Senator Sinema is the main reason that the Ways and Means approach has been sort of put aside. Her spokesman has issued statements saying that she does not believe that raising tax rates is an efficient way of tinkering with the code.
She's smart as the devil. Where she's not supportive is she says she will not raise a single penny in taxes on the corporate side and or on wealthy people, period.
And now we're thinking about altogether new tax increases.
All of a sudden, we are talking about the wealth tax. Tell us when that suddenly appears as the main revenue raiser and why.
Why? Because suddenly they have this giant revenue hole. They need something, and they need something that's not a rate hike. Now they're sort of writing this on the fly. They're basically setting up a separate tax regime for this small number of people.
What is the wealth tax? Give us the basics and how much do they think it can raise?
Currently, all taxes are either taxes on income or they're taxes on transactions. This would be a new kind of tax that would be on what people own.
The plan would call for an annual tax on billionaires' unrealized capital gains from tradable assets like stocks or bonds. This would be the first time in history the federal government taxes the gain on an asset, even if it is not sold. Now, the tax would apply to billionaires or those who earn $100 million or more, at least for 3 years.
There is a criticism of the wealth tax that it may not pass constitutional muster.
The Constitution says direct taxes have to be apportioned among the states. And the reason we have an income tax is because there's the 16th Amendment to the Constitution basically says we're going to make an exception to the direct tax rule for income taxes. And so the question with this proposal will be whether it's an income tax. This will go to court immediately.
Most progressives want the wealth tax, but they also want some of these rate increases as well, correct? That it's not an either or?
And I think there could ultimately be some kind of blend. A lot of it depends on Senator Sinema, but I think some of these proposals are not going to raise as much money as Democrats hope.
There are things we can do to close the tax gap. There are hundreds of billions of dollars in unpaid taxes that the IRS, with some additional tools, could help collect on behalf of the American people.
Do you think that Sinema's opposition to rate increases survives, or is it more likely there is some blending of this wealth tax?
A lot of this is going to be driven by the budget numbers. If the budget numbers are really bad, they're going to have a hard time not going back to the Ways and Means proposal.